Like, the players got a few points so far. 3 points, so 3 draws. So yeah, of course they want to win here finally. White saying if we get another draw, we leave the community. Okay, and how about if you get a loss? Just out of curiosity. For you, is it just that someone needs to win, or is it that you specifically need to win? Yeah, and of course also give you, let's give you your correct name once we can actually start. Okay, so White's saying I can accept losing, which means, you know, if there's a 3 points to your opponent, then just lose. That's the safest way to guarantee that there won't be a draw. And of course, you also don't want to play that way. In some sports, that would be called match fixing. I'm not sure if we have anything over here in the Tetris scene for now. But yeah, please don't do match fixing. Okay, so let's give White the correct name. Again, Hertz display, input display needs to be turned on. And other than that, let's see when the players will be ready. White saying, I mean, I already tried to lose by failing to show up, man. I did my best. That's a good point, of course. And you have the good luck, have fun in the chat. So let's start game number 1 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. As you can also see in the bottom right, we do have a match Reno. Hertz display, input display is turned on. See, it looks good. So yeah, if you want to support the DCL Champions League players, especially the playoffs, then feel free to donate to our prize pool and yeah, show some support. You of course can also subscribe to the Twitch channel to support the restreamers, or join the Discord server to support DCL Tetris as in the community. I believe that's all. Yeah, that's all. So yeah, let's see. We have 46 here for these players in the opening. Now White getting the next Tetris, so White having a slight lead here now in the beginning. But all in all, this is pretty much what we accept. Nothing too major in terms of a lead in any way. We are not. We don't expect anyone here to get ahead, but like 2 Tetrises in the beginning. Generally pretty close in level 18. On level 19 it does often depend. I mean, even on 18 does depend a lot. It's not like all games at 18 are just peak efficiency up until 139, so full level 18. As these players need to burn a bit. Yeah, regards of that, of course here in Tetris you want to get as many points as possible, and you get the most points in any Tetris by getting a Tetris, which means we can see a lot of the Tetrises, so 4 line clears at once done by these players. Optimally you want that exclusively, but as we have quite, you know, a lot of RNG involved, as in we use SPS, so the players get the same pieces, but there's no, hey, you need to get every piece at least once to get them again, like get the same piece again. The 7 back doesn't exist in comparison to modern Tetris, so yeah, that's something that's to some new players maybe a bit frustrating, but to me it's what makes NES Tetris so interesting. And yeah, we can see here on White side a bit of stream lag. That's also sadly kinda to be expected sometimes. I hope it won't be too bad at least. Maybe we can see, I would say enough for us to know that White isn't cheating, because you can't at least easily switch. Oh, heck, I forgot a thing. Players, please stop out. I forgot White, we need the hand cam. Talking about cheating and stuff like that. Again, please top out. White, we need your hand cam. Totally forgot that. And I hope that the players do hear me. This time I remember that we need third input display, but I didn't remember the hand cam. That's on me, so yeah, these players are supposed to top out. Exactly as Scotto did, perfect. And as White also does know, so White, please make sure that we can see your hands on cam. Perfectly, you know, prepared by me, as always. While saying, oh Christ, I have to set this up again. 1 minute. Sure, 1 minute shouldn't be too bad. And yeah, I apologize for this. Should have thought about that in advance. But now I fully remember what I need to pay attention to during the playoffs, so the second match here. But yeah, that's also then the last match of the top 8. Then the one after this in the playoffs. And that means we then know our top 4. And I believe I actually don't have the correct link currently for that in my bracket. Let me try to see if there's something that will fit a bit better, but I don't believe so. You have the... Oh, actually I do. Perfect. Then let's do this. This. What do you have? Okay. Doesn't matter too much, so let's do boom, boom. Yeah, while we have a bit of setup here by White, I'm also gonna prepare the next bracket. So this. Next bracket is in our playoffs bracket, of course. Okay, we now have a bit of offline here by White. Offline is in facecam offline. Which of course is totally fine and acceptable. Okay, so this should now look good enough then later. Perfect. White's... Is that... That's probably good enough. Now saying I need to use Ninja Cam for hand cam because I'm on keyboard. I don't really care what you're using. As long as you can see your hands. Your hands during gameplay properly. If possible, it would be perfect if you could lower your webcam a bit. You can work it down. Oh, okay. It's cropped on my side, you mean? Shoot. That's why grouping does suck sometimes. Okay, so let's do this. No, it's not cropped on my side. It's it is cropped. Okay, it's that. Okay, so I believe I need these. Oh, you just moved. Okay, perfect. Thank you. That means Scotto and White, please increment the seat once. We had the seat early and it's also pinned, so D3 becomes E4, and once you are at E4, we can start the actual game number 1. And yeah, White also saying no face, but that's fine. Yeah, so let's start game number 1 in no. 4 times the charm. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Luckily, I'm a perfect keyboard user and I never make any mistakes at all. Title needs updating. Good point. Title does need updating. I would never forget to update anything. So we start Scotto versus White, and then we have Chiller versus Leo. Now correct. Thanks for pointing that out, Stone. But like, I'm just gonna call you Sword. And Dewey saying, I didn't expect to see Tetris at this hour. I also was like, oh yeah, it's an hour later, which is why I didn't fully prepare for the stream, forgot stuff like the title. But no, it's 9 UTC, so now, which does barely ever happen. Most Tetris streams are in the evenings, so either, you know, evening for us Europeans, evening for the Americans, or well, not fully Americans, not fully sure, but what I'm sure of is that White has now won game number 1. As Scotto just topped out, so White, feel free to top out yourself. You have won game number 1. Scotto just got a bit high, which, having misdrop then, does oftentimes lead to a top out, sadly. Do you think only time I've ever played at this time was against White? Yeah, and it's once again here having White, so I guess White just is an early player to us. Or well, you know, evening times for him once again. Because in Australia they are... Oh, what time zones? Sydney time zone is... Actually, what is Sydney? I want to say UTC plus 10 now? I believe it's plus 10. Should be plus 10, so it's like 7 PM, yeah. Ah, okay. Ah, okay, while pointing out it's actually New Zealand, which is plus 12. So let's just start game number 2 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, there's actually over 24 hours of time zones as well, so kind of funny. White reset, saying F me. Oh, you forgot to update the seed. So Scotto, please stop out. We have had a small seed issue here on White's side, so let's please play at seed not 5C but 06. Too many the resets. I was playing the same seed, yeah. That does sadly sometimes happen. Maybe you also just know that F5 is a shitty seed and you wanted to skip that one. Could also be, you know, players, of course, all of the possible seeds. The 16 to the power of 16, which is... yeah, just a ton. I would not be able to know, like to calculate how much that is in my brain here. So instead, now let's start actually game number 2 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Okay, 06 for Scotto, 06 for White, perfect. So let's see how game number 2 will go. Will White be able to win this one as well? Will we see a full game up until level 29? Or will just something fully different happen? Like, for example, just Scotto winning? Haven't listed that before. So here we can see pretty much neck and neck opening, 91 against 92. We had a bit more burning here of one line for white. But yes, pretty neck and neck opening. Now Scottobozo of course needs to burn a few lines due to the hole in the stack and the white on top of that. So that should allow white to get a nice lead in of maybe 2 Tetrises. Let's see how much it will be. Of course that does depend on how quickly Scotto can get out of that, but it's now only an L... It was an LJ dependency, now it's down to an L dependency, getting the L piece open, optimally managing to burn perfect, that one single using a flat burn. So Scotto is fully open, we have a 60k lead roughly here for white, which means, yeah, like 2.5, nearly 3 Tetrises lead for white, so I will get a nice early lead in here against Scotto. Which of course is good to see here for white, considering that he doesn't want to lose a match here at all. His goal is not lose to draw the match, his goal is that one of them does win, and for that, of course, it would be kind of sad for him to see now a 1-1 and then a 2-2, because then you feel like, oh god, it's gonna be a draw, and he said that if this match is a draw, he will leave the community. So yeah, it's really important for this match to not be a draw. And next Tetris to Scotto, 207, next Tetris to white, 243. So the lead is now down to a bit less than 2 Tetrises. Scotto was able to play a bit more efficiently here than white. Next Tetris to white, few burns here on Scotto's side. And we have open for both players and bit waiting for the long bar now on Scotto's side. This wasn't really a drought. Next, Tetris now to white. White at 289 against 232. Next Tetris to Scotto, 255 against 289. And we are at a bit over the halfway point of level 18, which means we're looking at like 500k-ish transitions for these players. At least in terms of projection. Let's see if that will actually be the case, or if maybe they can play a bit more efficiently here in the second half of 18. We can see Scotto getting quite high now. Nice spin into a Tetris. We have 422, 440, we have about 20 lines left to go, so 500k projection, yeah, looks to be accurate. Of course, could be a bit bigger than that we will see, because 20 lines is 5 Tetrises, which is 100k, so we could also get like a 540 transition. And if you look over at the right side, we can still see 3 Tetrises possible, which is like 60, over 60k, nearly 70k. And if he only needs to burn one line, then he will be able to achieve that. Scotto looking also at a bit over 500k, so yeah, Scotto at a 524. 524 for Scotto into level 19. And white is one line away now at 535. Scotto's board having some slight issues here. in the beginning of 19, which means Scotto now needs to clean this up. 542 transition here for White into the next Tetris. So yeah, White having like a 40k transition lead here against Scotto. And Scotto is still cleaning this up while White not having able to play aggressive, but managing to stay clean here. Okay, nice pin on Scotto's side. Once again, he does like his Z-spins. Scotto having a small hole, only triple here, so yeah, Scotto is pretty much playing for survival. As not for Tetrises, just play as long as possible. And we can see White here playing quite high and aggressive in comparison. Scotto also is clean, taking the safety burns, while White just goes for the Tetris here. For the Tetris does give you about as many Tetrises as lining out 2 levels, so if you can get a few Tetrises in on level 19 and your opponent is only able to burn till the end, then of course it can definitely be worth it to, you know, play a bit more aggressive even if you top out early. That does always depend on how your opponent does play like and how you play like. So there's no definite answer of what you should do. But we can see 652 for Scotto, 659 for White. Now that Scotto is able to pick up the aggression here, we can see him also getting the lead. Which means White also does need to play a bit more aggressive here now. And Scotto having closed the world here quite high, but the center is not really dirty, so he should be able to get easily out of this. And yeah, just when I finished saying that he is pretty much open, waiting for the bar and the Tetris here having a longbow dependency now on column 4, closing the dependency here. Now getting dangerously high, but gets the next bar over, which means Tetris for Scotto 733 against 706 for White. Next Tetris to White into 738. White in a clean position, Scotto in quite the dirty position here, so this is going to require a lot of overshift here on Scotto's side. So this is probably a top out for Scotto. Let's see if he can fight through this, but no, misspin here of that J piece, which means we now have a 2-0 for White, so GG's White for the 2-0 here. If White manages to win the next 2 games, then we will have a full sweep here for our New Zealand player. Or maybe Scotto can defend and win the next. I mean, now it would have to be 4 games for it to not be a draw, so let's see if Scotto can do that. And let's start game number 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Scotto is saying played too many puzzles. Oh. Yeah, nesttwist.org, I believe, is the platform where you can do a lot of puzzles. Of course, puzzles can be helpful for getting your stacking ideas under control. But you should never play too aggressive in that regards, never play them too much. So yeah, let's see what these players will be able to do here in game number 3. We have played the first few lines here, and we can already see a big lead here for Scotto of about 50k. You can see White having quite a lot of issues here. Topping out, which means it is 1-2. So Scotto, feel free to top out. You just won this game. I got a quick message on my phone, so it wasn't like important message. I wasn't sadly able to fully concentrate here on the match. But well played here in this game, and like by Scotto. And let's see how game number 4 will go. Scotto saying, wanna count the drought later, that was a monster. And that is why I personally do always appreciate Nestress gems just because of stuff like having the drought counter, for example. I'm not a huge fan of the eye voice thingy, but yeah, drought counter, for example, is nice. Also, let's start the next game here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, the drought counter is nice, the projection is nice, like projection and pace. The cleaner image does depend. Sometimes it's nicer, sometimes, you know, if you have at least clean captures, it doesn't really matter. Like if I look here at Scotto's side, then, you know, that's a nice. For me, for online, nothing more is needed. I specify for online because for an in-person tournament like, let's say, the CTWC, of course you want to have the highest quality possible. Or I guess as we are here in the DES scene, I should mention, of course, CTWC DES as well, where we also try to achieve the highest possible quality in terms of stream quality as possible, stream quality, tournament quality, and so on and so forth. In case you didn't see, by the way, there's also been the CTWC website been posted a few days ago on the CTWC server. Let me actually also post that to DES Tetris. Later. Not now, but later. And nice spin here by White, set up for that. And next Tetris using that bar. It's 140k for Scotto against 99 here for White. Next Tetris to both of these players here. 163, 122. And one more here now to White into 145. So there's about a Tetris difference here between these two players. Let's see how this will evolve over the next about 90 lines here of level 18, and then of course also the 100 lines in level 19. Technically 19 speed because the level does change every 10 lines from level 19 onwards, but the speed does stay the same here up until level 29, at which point this game does basically become too fast for DES players to play. There's a few exceptions who can actually play like 40 lines or so of level 29 start, but that's not really a thing in competitive. So 258, 218, next Tetris is to both of these players here. So with a nice Simon Tetris Scotto, also doing a nice adjustment here for the bar. And we can see, yes, Scotto being open once again, White here needing to clean up. Actually, not being too here on White's side, he could have tried to play pretty aggressive to go for Dirty Tetris. That could have worked out, depending on, you know, the exact pieces that you get. But instead, White just cleaning up, going for column 3 now. Now Scotto also needing to clean up. Could also go for Dirty Tetris, but that would be much more aggressive. So yeah, Scotto is cleaning up, open, getting the Tetris. White going now for column 6, that is. And getting the bar into Tetris would now only require a single burn. He does burn that single line here, which means we can see 2 clean stacks. Next Tetris to Scotto, 356, 299 for White. Next Tetris to Scotto once again to 378. This of course does mean that White will also soon get 1 to 2 Tetrises in. Only able to use one of these bars for Tetris, which means now needs one more for Tetris, and you have about a 60k lead here for Scotto, having played 5 rounds more, which means it's like a 40k, so about a 2 Tetris lead here in terms of actual pace lead here for Scotto. Yeah, pace. So pace is if you play perfect from now on, and projection is if you play at the same efficiency from now on. That's the main difference between pace and projection, so you use them for different purposes. And yeah, you see only about 30 lines of level 18 left to go here in game number 4 between Scotto and White. And if White manages to win this, he is only one game away from winning the match here. Which again does only matter for the standing, so it's not 100% important for him. It's not for the playoffs. The playoff match will be the one after this in, you know, maybe just one more game, maybe a few more games. We will see. White's webcam just dying a bit. Okay, it's now back again. He's using not Nessus Champs OBS Ninja or Video Ninja, technically. So yeah, it's probably just due to that. Not having perfect internet and stuff like that can result in small lags. Next set is now to White. 550 for Scotto, 471 here for White. So Scotto having a nice lead here against White. And of course he wants to keep that for as long as possible. Now in the transition at 580 here for Scotto. So let's see if White can get the final Tetris off. He will actually be so high that 19 will just immediately put him out of the game. He's kinda low enough depending on the pieces. This is now pure survival for White and he doesn't really get the perfect pieces, but he's able to stay in. Oh, cheap is not so nice. This is now, yeah, top out for White, which means you have a 2-2-2 and only 2 more games left to go. Scotto, feel free to top out. You have won game number 4, which means you are guaranteed to see the full next 2 games and therefore the full match. And White saying, "Dumb internet lagged and the stream got stuck repeating the same sound like a broken record for 2 minutes." Voicing S sounds so very entertaining. I hope that wasn't too bad. But yeah, I know that sometimes internet can be a bit funny. So let's now start game number 5 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. White saying it kinda was, so it was kinda frustrating, but I saw the funny side, and life should be funny, and don't complain too much if not perfect stuff does happen, like, for example, having a bit of lag, I guess, like that. Okay, so my OBS kinda just died here, and I don't know why. I hope it won't happen again. I'm already back here. I had OBS crash a bit once before, but it was gone for a long time, so I hope it was just something funny happen. But yeah, 58 for Scotto, 96 for White, now 81 here for Scotto. Which means it is a neck and neck situation. Just a few thousand points of difference here between these 2 players. And that of course does mean that this could be quite a nice game here in terms of how interesting it will be to watch, because, you know, close matches generally are the best to enjoy. And it looks like White is a bit ahead now. Yeah, 174, 190. Next set is to Scotto, so 197 against 190. But Scotto has played 5 lands more, so in terms of pace, we can see that White is ahead. And is ahead with over a Tetris, so in that terms, it's actually no longer a neck and neck situation. In terms of projection, pace, however you wanna call it at least. Yeah, this have been 2 pretty good games so far. We are at basically a 600k pace. Depending, of course, on how we'll go from now on. We're not even at the halfway point, still a bit off. Dear White getting a bit high here now. Okay, open once again, getting the bar and simul Tetris. So yeah, White playing a bit higher, then Scotto being a bit behind in terms of the piece sequence. So now getting the next Tetris, so White is now at about the same height once again as you're waiting for the next bar. So there's a drought happening. Let's see how these survival skills are gonna be like. We can see Scotto getting the next Tetris in, so it will still take a bit here for White, but the end is in sight. Oh, but White is getting dirty. The right side not looking too good. Couldn't use the bar here, couldn't use this bar as well. Need something for the left side. Flat try. But that means, congratulations, Scotto. It's 3-2, which means just 1 more game left to go. And let's also tell the next players, which is at Chiller, at Leo. Next up is the final game, so feel free to get ready. And let's see if Scotto manages to win this game and get a basically reverse sweep. So let's do a 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Scotto saying surely we can get kill screen one time. Also let's refresh. Oh, White just started playing. Maybe I'm not sure. I felt like he was a bit behind here. But yeah, being able to get to the kill screen is something that you always want. That does not always only depend on your skills, it can also depend a lot on the piece sequence, for example. So yeah, let's see how that will go in this game. We're already having a bit of issues here in the beginning. So does Scotto getting the bar. The first bar force longbow dependency. Yeah, TPs for the next cleanup. Perfect. White. Stack does look quite not so nice, but it's slow enough, you know. It's if you get the good pieces, you can get out of that kind of easily. It's just that you can't really afford to get bad stuff, like for example that O piece here that we just got. O piece doesn't also go over to the right, which hey, I mean White. This is not a draw, so according to your own words from earlier, you will now continue to be in the community. I don't know what's going on, but at least it wasn't a draw. Exactly, that's what is the most important. Not getting a draw. And as long as you manage that, all is good in my opinion. And now I need to figure out once again how to properly report this. Perfect, found it. So we have Scotto having a 4-2 versus White, which means we can. I mean, Scotto, you will be of course allowed to play this until the end if you want to, you know, play this. That's kind of the thing that at least I allow the winner of a match to do. But also it's like 200 lines until level 29, so maybe I shouldn't have said anything if I take a look at the board now. But yeah. Okay, looks like this will be it for Scotto here. So let's take a quick look at our bracket, and as we can see over here, I need to adjust this door. As we can see over here, it is now white and